Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Zero Hour. On this show, we will be talking about Katsucon. Our East Coast rep, Lee May, was there to check out the February weekend event. Katsucon is a very popular event among cosplayers. It takes place at the Gaylord Hotel over in the DC metro area. It's kind of a national harbor, so yeah, fly in, drive in, train into the DC area and just take like a $20 Uber ride and you're at Katsucon. So welcome to the show, Lee May. Always great having you.
Yeah, it's always great to be here.
All right, let's talk about some Katsucon.
Yeah, of course. And so, as you mentioned, it's a con in National Harbor, so it's like right out of DC. It's really nice because right by the river, so there's a lot of like pretty places you can walk around. It's almost like a resort area. Like there's a lot of shops nearby, restaurants, that kind of thing. And so it's a 3-day convention. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But I know a lot of people will try to go down on Thursday, or some people even go down earlier just because it's such a nice venue. It's the Gaylord Resort.
Yeah, it's a really pretty area. Like I remember when I used to go, like we would go on Thursday or even like just stay till Monday because like it's just so impossible to like schedule photo shoots like on Friday, Saturday, Sunday nowadays because everyone is just wants to get like some really nice photos at the Gaylord. It's like you might as well just like either go stay an extra day or come an extra day to just get some pretty photos done because it
Yeah,
just
when
gets
it's
so
not crazy
crowded.
crowded.
Yeah, yeah. But I really
Mhm.
do. Outside of that, I do like the area. I do like there's a lot of restaurants nearby where you can just walk right up to. How was the weather like during this year's Katsucon?
It was freezing cold outside, so I was just trying to stay inside as much as possible.
Gotcha, gotcha. Like no snow, it's just wicked cold, right?
Yeah, I don't think there was any snow. It was just freezing cold, so you don't want to go out without being bundled up. But obviously, there's a lot of cosplayers who are just going out without a coat because they want to get photos. And I tried going out like once, and I was like, after 10 minutes, I could not handle it. It was way too cold.
Hmm.
I think it's the wind. It's not, if there was no wind, it wouldn't be that bad, but the wind chill was really bad during that time.
Yeah, I really feel that like cold doesn't really bother me, but when that wind chill just hits you, like doesn't matter if it's 60 degrees or 30 degrees or below zero, but when that wind chill hits you, like okay, it's over, man.
Yeah, no, the wind is what's really bad, especially when you're in cosplay.
Oh, definitely.
Now, wind.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I got to the con really late. I think it was like 1 or 2 a.m. on Thursday night, so very late. Because I had a full day of work on Thursday, so me and my friend carpooled down to National Harbor. I'm from New York City, but we didn't leave until, after 7 p.m. So we didn't get there till very late.
Mm. So which hotel
But
did you stay
once,
at? Did you stay at the Gaylord or did you?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, we were right at the Gaylord, so it was very convenient. So just like where the con's at.
that's
And
good.
so so we were there. It was really late, but we were surprised when we were coming in. Like, when we parked at the parking garage, it was actually already super full. Like, there's a self-serve parking area, which is nice. You can like park there, and I think they have like a discounted rate for congoers for the
That's good.
weekend. But it was like super full. We got there, we were like driving around in a circle trying to find parking. But once we found it, and then we went to move our stuff inside and go into the hotel, it was actually super crowded, even though it was late Thursday night. There are still like people shooting at the gazebo or like hanging out and stuff.
Wow, that show goes to show you just how popular this con's been. Like, there's still photo shoots going on at 1 a.m. before the con starts.
I know, 1 a.m. day zero, still happening, still really crowded. So I feel like every year it's getting more and more crowded now.
Absolutely.
And then on Friday, so Friday, to be honest, like me and my friend didn't really get up till later because we were like so tired from work and driving and stuff.
Oh, I don't
Well,
blame
she was
y'all.
the one driving. I didn't drive, but like she was driving, obviously needs to rest, and then I was really tired. So I didn't really get out until I was like, I want to make it to the Love Live shoot, like the Love Live meetup thing. And so it was interesting because I don't think all the meetups were at the gazebo, but you could, I guess people organizing it could sign up to have like meetups at the gazebo area, which for those of you who don't know, the gazebo is like a super popular place for photo shoots and meetups at Katsucon.
Hmm.
And so it was at the gazebo, so I wanted to go there, check it out. And it was very interesting because they had like tape, like not caution tape, but you know how when venues will tape off areas, kind of like in movie theaters for lines and stuff?
Oh yeah, like they'll put like a velvet rope type thing.
Yep. Yep. So they had this year, which I think was new, like all around the gazebo, just so that they had staff there regulating like who could come in. Like if you would like walk in and it was reserved, they would like make you leave or say like you're not allowed to come in at this time.
Hmm.
And so staff was there like making sure things were organized, I guess, at the gazebo area. But
Mm.
there was still a lot of people at the Love Live meetup, which was surprising because I wasn't sure like how popular Love Live was still, especially because I feel like the height was, would you say like a few years ago?
Yeah, it's waning a little bit, but now that Love Live All Stars is on mobile, and they did the the ninth anniversary concert with the Perfect Dream Project,
Hmm.
there is a still strong. There's a much. It's still going pretty strong. I wouldn't say so much in the cosplay part of it because I think it's kind of like evening out a bit, but it's
Hmm.
still going really strong with like the guys who are into it, who are like really into the light pens and like the waifu side of it.
The waifu side.
Yeah, the waifu side of it.
Yep, yep, yep. No, totally get that. But yeah, no, it was still like a pretty big meetup. Like I felt like it was one of those things where it was still very crowded. Like we were kind of leaking out of that designated area just because there were so many people.
Hmm.
And so there's still a lot of people, which is cool. And then, and then afterwards, I went in line to try to get food at the little, the coffee shop thing that's on the lower floor.
Yeah, I like that coffee shop.
Yep. So of course, it's an insane line for the coffee shop. I felt like it was like food line con, I guess. Like anytime there's anything food related, there's always a line.
Oh yeah,
So
I
I
hate it when
waited
it
in line for
happens.
over half an hour, I'm pretty sure, just in
Oh
line. And
no.
then finally got there, got food, got a sandwich, and got frappuccino. I was like, thank God
Hmm.
I made it. And so that was cool. And then I had like a scheduled shoot for my Ruby cosplay. And so that was really fun too. We kind
Hmm.
of had trouble finding a place to shoot though, because it was just so crowded at the con. It was really hard trying to find like a corner that wouldn't be really crowded or have a lot of people in the background.
Oh, absolutely.
So we had to like run around a lot trying to find different spots.
Hmm.
I mean, this is one of the cons where they're really good places to shoot, but I think because of the crowd, it can be difficult to find a place to shoot just because there's so many people and everyone has the same idea.
Yeah.
And even though it's a big venue, there's just so many people, it's just hard to find a quieter space.
Hmm.
And then after that, I checked out the dealer's hall, all the vendors, and there's like a ton of merch. It's really, really big. Like I felt like I got lost in the vendors hall. Was trying to like look for the bathroom. I was like, where the heck am I? There's so
Hmm.
many rows and rows of merchants. And so it can be kind of difficult to navigate because I know they do have like table numbers, but because there's so many tables and so many rows, it's difficult to try to like weave your way around to try to find it.
Oh yeah, that can be a pretty daunting, especially if you don't really know where you're going, or like if you're not familiar with the layout.
Yeah, like I thought I would be more familiar with it because I've been to the con before, but I felt totally lost again this year. Like it just
Oh
was really
no.
big. I'm like, oh my God, it feels like I have no idea where I'm going.
One of
And I
one
had to like ask people for help a few times actually, like, do you know where the bathroom is or how do I get out? Where's the exit? I literally don't know how to get out.
Wow, that it must have sound like the dealer's hall is just like really huge. Like it's just really hard to find your way out.
Yeah, exactly. Especially because a lot of vendors too are selling similar things. Like there's so many manga vendors, so many vendors that are selling like figures and things. So you think like, oh, I've seen this. Like, oh, I know where this is. I just passed it. Then you're like, wait, no, there's like five places that look very
Saul's
similar.
like a clone of another booth.
Yeah, yeah, and you're like, wait, this is not the same booth. I thought it was, but it's not. But it was fine because people are generally nice if you ask them for help, like with directions. Although half the time people aren't sure either, and they're like, I don't really know. I'm sorry. She's like, oh, it's okay. I'll try to figure it out until you find someone on staff who can help.
Yeah, that's one of the
And
things I
then
like about Katsucon. I always felt like the people who were staffing Katsucon were always friendly, so that's always been a plus in my book.
yeah, definitely. Because if you're like lost or you have a question, it's good when they're greeting you like with a friendly demeanor than someone who looks grumpy or doesn't want to be there. So
Absolutely.
it's good that it feels like the people who do the con are also people passionate about it and who are actually, involved in fandom
Hmm.
and are anime fans themselves.
Of course.
Yeah. And I changed cosplays before end of day, so I switched from Ruby from Love Live Aqua over to Hanyo, like the Cyber Hanyo from Love Live.
Yes, I love your
And
cyber cosplay. I also have Cyber
yeah.
Nico, but that thing's falling apart now after having that for like 5 years. It's like
Oh
I
my
could,
gosh.
yeah, I might have to upgrade to Nozomi. So I
Oh
have to
my
say,
god. Nozomi's is awesome too.
it's weird because like you know me as long as I've been cosplaying Love Live. Like I was like Token Nico with like a lot of things. Like we were like Nico and Maki for a while, and then since moving out to the West Coast, like I just become like the Token Nozomi of our group. So.
That's great though, and I
Mm-hmm.
love Nozomi's cyber outfit too.
Mm-hmm.
All the cyber outfits I love. They're all very iconic, and I really like the colors and the
I
lines and
like the different
everything.
ears like each girl has too. Because,
Yeah, it's super cute.
yeah, like Nico has like the bunny ears.
Yeah,
And
no,
like
this
it's.
one's really cute, and Maki has the cat ears.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually bumped into other random cyber people, and we were all different characters. And it was
Oh,
really
so
cute
cool.
because we didn't plan it. Like, we weren't planning to meet up or anything, really. It was just kind of in a hall we bumped into each other, and then, like, more people kept kind of congregating. And then people thought we were, like, a group, but we were not, like, a pre-planned group. So that was pretty cool.
That's what happened with our cyber group at the last time I was at Otakon. Like, we had like a few of the girls with us, like, okay, let's just do some photo shoots. And other cyber cosplayers just like were walking our way and like, oh, we don't have this person yet. Like, want to join our group? Want to join our photo shoot?
Let's just join the group. Yeah. It's all fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was really cute. And then people were stopping us for photos and stuff. We're like, oh my God. And then I've actually found a really cool place to shoot cyber too. On the pool level, like where the fitness area and pool is, there's also an arcade.
Oh yeah, I know that place.
Yeah, so it's right, and it's actually a lot quieter. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
everywhere Katsucon's like really crowded.
Yeah.
That lower level where the pool is, fitness center is, that place is not as crowded. Like not as many cosplayers go there. So that was really cool to shoot. And the arcade, it was very colorful. The lights it fit really well. And actually later in a con, I went there shoot like also in the fitness area, like at the gym because it was like there's no one there.
I actually shot
Well,
my Shadow Yukiko at that gym too. Like if you like just close in like on certain areas, you get that nice marble black wall and like the tiled floors too.
yeah, yeah. But also if you're doing anything sports related, like sports anime, the gym's kind of perfect.
Nice.
Yep. But yeah, and so cyber was fun, and then I had to like rip off my wig and stuff, and I changed into like casual clothes to be comfy for dinner because I did not want to be in cosplay for dinner, so I like changed out of cosplay just for dinner, and we didn't want to eat at the con, so me and two friends went to, oh darn it, what was it called? Cadillac Ranch, I think it's called.
Hmm. It's
I
like just
think.
kind of like this down the street, like 2 blocks down.
I think so. It's like it's the closest restaurant when you go outside. You
It's like
walk
a
across the
country
street to where all the
western
restaurants
bar
are.
type thing, right?
Yeah.
I've been there
I'm
before. I
literally
love it.
Googling it right now. I'm like, wait, Cadillac Ranch National Harbor. Is this what I'm thinking of? It's
Hmm.
like a American bar and grill.
Hmm.
Yep, yeah, that's the one. Cadillac Ranch. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
has the
used to go
bull.
there for a happy hour.
Yeah, you can like ride the bull. They have this mechanical bull thing.
Oh, did you go for it?
No, there was like a line for that too. So I'm like, no thanks.
Hmm.
There's a line to get seated too, but it was like the only place that was letting us wait in line. Like we went to a few other restaurants, and the other ones we were gonna go to all told us they no longer are taking anyone on the wait list.
Oh wow.
Like the wait list is full, or they said the kitchen was closing soon. And so the only place that was open was Cadillac Ranch
Oh wow.
that let us add ourselves to wait list. So we waited for an hour actually before we could get seated, but it was worth it. They had really good onion rings. We got chicken. We got other food. But yeah, it was really good. I got one of those like onion ring towers and we shared it.
Nice.
Yeah. And then they also passed around roses to everyone.
Oh, that's very nice of
Like
them.
people at the restaurant because it was like Valentine's Day that day.
Oh yeah, that's right. Katsucon
Yeah.
takes place on Valentine's weekend.
Yeah, and honestly, I forgot it was. Well, I knew before the con that it was Valentine's Day because that's why I was like, I want to do Valentine's Ruby on Valentine's Day. But then, like, I didn't realize it was the day, like the day of, until like we were eating dinner, and then they're like, Happy Valentine's Day and giving out roses to everyone.
Hmm.
So that was super cute. We all got roses, and
Oh,
after
that's
dinner, we
nice.
were like tired, so we just were like, Good night, bye bye,
Yeah,
back
it
to the
sounds like a
rooms.
busy day one. Photo shoots, dealers hall.
Yeah, love life meetup,
Would you
and
say there
then
were more Sunshine cosplayers, or were there like more like Muse cosplayers at the Love Live meetup?
I think it was like even mix. It was about half and half, Muse and
Okay.
Aqua.
Hmm.
Yep. Yeah, and there's also some people who did like cool gender bend versions too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that was actually cool. 'Cause hadn't really seen that in a long time. So
Yeah, I
I was
haven't
like,
seen
oh.
like gender bend Muse or Aquas in a while. I think last time I saw that was back at Otakon. The last time I went,
Oh, cool, cool. How long ago was that? Like 2 years
it's like
ago or
I want
three?
to say it's probably not the last time I went. It's probably the first time I wore when you and I did a Nikomaki at Otakon. There was a group of
Oh,
guys who
yeah.
did like
That was years ago.
yeah, they did like a male version of the school uniform.
Yeah, that's someone I saw too. Someone who did the like pants instead of skirt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
And then day two, Saturday, February 15th. And so, of course, this was as usual. Not as usual, but I mean, every year at Katsucon since I started going, I always cosplay Asian from Dino Ace. So even the times where I went just for one day, I still just cosplayed Asian that day. So I brought him back with Tyra Chan and all that. And so, first thing me and my roommates did was like, we need to find food, like proper food. And so we went to National Pastime, which is the sports bar, like restaurant in the con, like not in the con, but at the Gaylord on lower level, like next to where that cafe is.
Yeah, I love that
And
restaurant.
I love it too, and it's all baseball themed, so it's like perfect. But they actually have you tried their salmon?
No, I've only had their potato soup and a couple of their cocktails.
Nice, nice. I had for lunch, like, I had a Caesar salad, but with the grilled salmon, but their salmon is so good there. Like, every time I have their salmon, it's like heavenly.
I'll have to try that if I'm ever back in town for Katsucon.
Highly recommend. It's like one of those things that's perfectly cooked. Like, it's not overcooked, so it's still like moist, but the flavor is really good. It's not like too salty or anything.
Hmm.
And then, oh, this was the cosplay that I mentioned earlier when I did go outside briefly to take some pictures, and it was not worth it. Even though it was like I'm wearing long sleeves and long pants and layers, you would think it'd be warm. Like, I had a jacket too,
Hmm.
but I was freezing. I was like, this is not, I don't like this. And then the great thing about the tires, anytime I had to wait in line, like in the dealer's hall, I wanted to do Purikura because they had the booth there.
Hmm.
Of course, there's a long line for it. And I was using my tire as like a chair.
Oh wow.
Just like sit and sit in line on my tire. But Purikura is always fun, but this is actually the first time I saw this booth. So in the past, other cons I've been to, like past Katsus or other like Otakons, even other Anime NYC, etc., if they have a Purikura booth, it's the Bambi one. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like sweet Bambi, soft Bambi.
Yes.
And this is different. Like this year, this is the first time I've seen this booth, but it's called like Mote,
Hmm.
like Motegenic or something. I've never seen this booth before, but it's really cute. But it's kind of scary as usual, when the timer is like very quick and you're like, oh god.
Oh yeah.
And we somehow fit 5 Dino Ace cosplayers into it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it was 5 of us squished in there. There's some really funny ones because one of the backgrounds look like grass.
Hmm.
So it's like you're on the grass. It says Happy Day, and you're like, this is so cheesy.
Hmm.
There's also like really funny, stickers you can use to decorate and stuff like that, but it's all timed.
Hmm.
And then after that, I walked around the dealers more, and I bumped into actually some cosplayers that I love from the West Coast who are from, I don't know where exactly they're from, but I know they usually go to like Fanime and um, Anime Expo and like cons over in Cali. So I was like, oh my god, like I feel like the only time I see them is at Katsu, which is
Hmm.
always cool to bump into them. And for dinner, where did I eat dinner? I'm trying to remember. Oh, I went to the same place again, I think, because I did not want to go out in the cold again. So we went to National Pastime again for dinner.
Hmm.
But this time I had a burger.
Mm.
And it was a very good burger. And I took more random silly photos. But I think it was worth it, though, because I felt like I did have a workout, because right before dinner, that's when I went to the gym to shoot, like
Uh-huh.
at the hotel gym. And, like, I actually did go on the treadmill for photos, which could be dangerous, but it was fine.
Mm.
Like, just very slow. But I still felt like I worked out a sweat, so I'm like, wow, this is so weird.
Hmm.
And there's some other people who were doing shoots at the gym, too. Like, someone was shooting, like, lifting weights or something. It was really funny, so a lot of people had similar ideas for going there.
Hmm.
And then I went on a wild chase through the artist alley to look for Dino stuff, because I was like, that's what I'm always looking for. And it's really hard to find things, like, unless it's something I already have. Like, you know, the merchants, obviously, the keychains, figures, stuff like that, but I have basically all the ones they have here. But in art style, I was thinking if there's an artist that made something, then I might not have it yet, right? And I did find one artist there that had dye stuff I didn't have yet, and she made these really cute wooden charms.
Mm.
So I got an Asian that's him hugging like the bat, and then there's like a little ball charm on it. So I'm like, yes, something new I can finally add to my dye collection.
Yay.
So it's always exciting because there's so many cons to go to where I literally find nothing, and it's like I don't buy a single thing. It's like plus side is I didn't spend money, but like I would if I could find something. And then, oh, another thing to point out too is I don't know if you knew, but a national pastime for the con, they have always like a special con cocktail list.
Oh yeah, I always like those.
Yeah, and at Katsucon, like during dinner time that day, they were also playing like on the screen. Normally they play sports, right? Like sports or channels, wherever. But they were playing Boku no Hero Academia.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, oh my god, we're watching anime
That's so
at
cool.
dinner. Hmm. So it was really cute. And then after dinner, same thing as Friday. I was like, I'm tired, so I'm not gonna like wear my cosplay more. I just kind of changed to casual clothes, no cosplay. After, and then I went to the gazebo level, and there was this like K-pop party going on.
Oh wow. Just
Well, not like a party, but like a performance. But they let people in the audience, if you want to join in, you're welcome to join in. So
Oh, that's cool.
it was done by a K-pop cover group, but they welcomed people. If you're watching them and you know the dance, you can just jump up on there and like dance with them.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was really cute, and like they were really friendly. It was really nice, and they even had snacks they're passing around, so you got like free snacks, like you know the shrimp crackers.
Oh yeah.
They're so addicting. I ate so many. I felt bad. Like,
I
I'm so sorry,
love
I can't stop
shrimp
eating.
chips.
I know those shrimp crackers. I literally could not stop, and they had like Pocky and stuff. It was great, and you took requests too. So I got to request some of my favorite songs or like artists. You can like tell them, and they'll ask. And if people like know the dance, they'll like perform it too.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yep. So that was really cool to watch. And then I went to the rave a bit as well.
Mm-hmm.
I went there around like it was after 1 a.m. I think it was around 2 a.m. when I went, and so it's like mostly electronic music, but they mix it with sometimes like anime or nerd stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was actually it was interesting because it's a really big space, so it got really crowded if you try to go near the stage. So at the stage is where like the DJ is. They have some performers. So there's performers doing dances with lights or like you know hula hooping and dancing like that. Some people did like fan dances too, which is cool. I've never seen before. They had like you know the fans with the scarves on them, like the long trails.
I'm not familiar with that.
So they use like those fans to dance, so it looks really cool. Like it reminds me of like koi fish or something like that, like the fins, because it's like fans, but they have the fabric on it.
Okay,
So
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, so they had someone performing like with the fans, with the fabric, people with the lights and stuff like that on stage. So if you're trying to get closer to a stage to watch, you really can't, 'cause it's like super crowded there. But like on the outskirts, that's where it wasn't so crowded. So like if you want to go to rave, but you don't want to like be in a crowd, just like don't stand near a stage. Go like more on the outskirts. But they also have seating too, which is interesting because I feel like most raves don't have seating. But there's also like a lot of chairs like at the back end that you could sit and watch the stage too and watch the screens. So, and there was actually a lot of people sitting as well. So I felt like you know half people were like dancing during the rave, but half people were just sitting and watching too and like enjoying the music. So whether you want to like watch or dance, like there's both options. They had plenty of seats, plenty of water, and all of that.
That's good that they have like they're making sure people are hydrated.
Yeah, definitely. And I noticed they were like refilling it too, so it wasn't like empty. Although I have to say they got lazy on Sunday.
Oh no.
On Sunday there was like no water to be found anywhere at the con. I was like, where's the water? Yeah, let's talk about Sunday.
Sure. Okay, last day. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah. Oh wait, sorry. I just remembered something on Saturday I forgot to mention.
Okay.
They had a fashion show.
Oh, how'd that go?
Yeah, I really wanted to see it, but it apparently ended really fast because
Oh, no.
I went to see it. Like, I was at dinner, right? So to wait for my bill and stuff to go. I was worried, like, oh no, I want to go see it. And they're like, oh no, it says on the calendar it's going for like another 2 hours. You'll be fine. I'm like, okay, cool. So I paid, I ran to see the fashion show, and it was already over.
Oh no.
So it was apparently very, 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 very fast, even though the schedule was blocked out for at least 2 hours. And even though I got there late, it wasn't like so late that I thought it'd be over, but it was over. And I was like very sad.
Oh.
But I heard it was good, that they had like a variety of J fashion, like Visual K, Lolita, Gato, etc., Fairy K. But I just can't believe it's so short.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too because I noticed that there was like a list of like a lot of fashion designers that I follow, like El Gato Designs and Ichigo, but I'm like I would imagine it had been longer because like, oh hey, I wanted to go to support them and I'm very happy that they're in the show.
Yeah, and it was confusing because they didn't really advertise it very well. Like I didn't even know about till I was like looking at the guidebook during dinner, and I was like, oh, what's going on right now? And then I saw fashion show. I'm like, wait a second, fashion show, but they didn't have it in like the main events or anything. It was like in a panel room. Like it was listed like as if it was a panel, like oh, fashion show, J fashion show, and I was like, oh, I want to go, and then it was literally this. Like, where is it? Lost trying to find which panel room. You know, the panel rooms are kind of spread out. They're in different wings. So trying to find the right wing. Then we got there like, oh no, it should still be like an hour and a half left of the show, and then it's over. I got like a glimpse of some of the fashion because obviously there's some people lingering there, but like I missed like the whole show. But yeah, so that was too bad. But I mean, what are you gonna do, right?
Absolutely.
But now we can move on to day 3, the last day. So on Sunday for Katsu, this was like chill day, which I like having Sunday to be like more chill day, but I know a lot of people are still going all out. And like, there was someone I spoke to who literally apparently changed costumes 3 times on Sunday. I'm like, what? I had to leave, obviously, earlier that day because coming back to New York and I had to work the next day. But on Sunday, what I did was I ran through like dealers and artists like one last time trying to see if there's any Dino A stuff I missed. Also, me and my roommate decided to do like a roomie purikura, which is fun. Like crossover. It was like the most random crossover though because she was Elsa from Frozen, and I was Asuka from Evangelion, so it made like 0 sense, but it was fun. But like it made no sense, right? Like what? And then I actually bumped into one of my friends who was being Rei, and so we also, of course, had to run back to do purikura, and then we were just chilling, like sitting and resting and taking some pictures on the gazebo level, and like kind of reminiscing about the con, which I feel like a lot of times on Sunday you like to just talk and be like, how did your con go? Highlights, lowlights, you know, things that surprised you. And then, of course, like I mentioned before, the one thing I noticed on Sunday was they were not good about refilling the water on Sunday, because when I was in dealers and RSL, and every water station was like empty. Empty, and I was like, where is the water? There was like no water. I ended up like buying water because I'm like, I need water. But it was pretty chill, and then I got to try find some people that I didn't bump into at the con that I'm trying to like meet up with before the end of the con. Obviously, this is all like, where are you? I have to leave like in half an hour, in an hour, like mini reunion, please. But yeah, it was a pretty good con. Like it was a lot more crowded than before, but I don't know if maybe in my memory I keep thinking it's not as crowded the year before, but I do feel like it's gotten more crowded every year. And another thing that was different this year is I guess they have a new policy now that you cannot lobby con, kind of before you were technically allowed to. But this year they don't allow any lobby conning.
Wow, that's pretty new, and I remember hearing about that, and that really made a lot of people mad, but I'm like, well, if you're not at the con for Katsucon, I think they have a right to tell you to leave.
Yeah, I mean, there's also a loophole, though, which I noticed a lot of people were still lobby conning, but the reason why they were not kicked out is because they had a hotel key card.
Yeah, that would also make sense, too. Like, even if you weren't, like, at the con, like, you were just, like, say, like, you're on vacation and you just happen to stay at the hotel, and coincidentally there's a con, like, yeah, you shouldn't really be harassing like hotel guests. But at the same time, I also feel like if you're, I don't know, it's just like one of those double-edged sword things.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like I think the reason why it keeps feeling so crowded is because, like, obviously there's people who have the con pass and they're all staying at the hotel, but there's a lot of people lobby conning it with a hotel badge, right? So because you're a guest at the hotel, they obviously can't say you can't come to the gazebo level or whatever because you're a guest at the hotel. But it feels very crowded because of all the people who are there. with just the hotel badge, but not the con badge, right?
Yeah, and there's also people staying off at off-site hotels because I know there's like the I think it's like the Hilton that's right across the street. Because I remember we stayed at the Hilton for 1 year of Katsucon and
Oh, I
all.
think Hilton Garden Inn, right? Or
Yes.
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
free breakfast. I love it.
Yeah, there's also Westin nearby too, I think.
And there's also factoring the people just coming in from those other hotels, and I know there's also people who commute Katsucon as well.
Yeah. But I think for all of those, though, because of the new policy, you have to have a con badge. Otherwise, they'll be like, you can't be here. 'Cause no more lobby conning. So the thing is, like, you can either have a Gaylord hotel key card, then you're fine, or you need the con badge. But then obviously, if you want to go to convention area, regardless, you need the con badge. They're not going to let you in with just the key card,
Got it.
which makes sense.
That seems
But
fair.
I did see like an angry person though who was like, I want to go in, and it was like, well, you don't have a badge, so
Well,
you
that's
can't.
on you.
Yeah. They were pretty good about checking when you come back in, but like I think an issue that was encountered too is sometimes when people go outside and like someone lost their badge outside and like couldn't get back in. But it was like a mess because it's like so cold out. It's like, wait, but like if they lost their badge and can't come back in, you can't just like keep them locked out in the cold. Like, like at some point
Yeah.
they have to be allowed to come back inside, right?
Because that would really suck.
I feel like they need to have some sort of policy about like if you do lose it and you're outside, that there's some way you can come in and maybe like I don't know, talk to staff or something.
And just like get like a $5 replacement badge or something.
Yeah, especially because when you have roommates and stuff, not everyone has a key card all the time. So what if you don't have a card on you, but you're like, I need to get back inside? Then, yeah, that could be very stressful.
So yeah, would you overall? How did this Katsucon compare to previous Katsucons you've attended?
Yeah, I think it was good. I feel like programming just could have been better, I guess, in terms of the organization. Like I mentioned with the fashion show, it looked like it was blocked out for that time. So when you look at that, you assume it's going to take up at least most of that time frame, right? But then it ended like very quickly. And I heard there was some also confusion with other panels or events when like not being able to find the correct room or like staff not really knowing like which room it's actually in and changes like that. As well as like obviously it's really crowded there. So I think if you don't do well with crowds, it might not be the best con for you. But if you don't mind crowds, it's really great.
Yeah, because I always get the impression like it keeps getting bigger and bigger attendance wise, and I like the fact that Katsucon is like almost like a 24-hour con. Like literally, you can find programming at 3 a.m. and you'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah, and even if there's no programming like they're interested in, there's always stuff going on, just like fan run stuff. Like I said, like the K-pop dance performance thing wasn't really on the schedule or anything. They were just doing it on the gazebo level.
Because the thing about the West Coast is we don't really have like a lot of 24-hour cons like Katsucon. For the most part, it's like everything like ends like before like 8 or 9 o'clock for an anime con, or if it's a comic con, things end like before 5, and I'm like, guys, like I want to like just have this going on. Like I'm paying this much for this con, I want to get as much as I need for the dollars I spent here, you know?
Yeah, yeah. There's also like nightlife at Katsucon too. Like they have the rave, but they also have like a club.
Oh, that's nice.
Like they have like a 21 plus club. I think you need like ID to get in. And I did check it out, but it was weird. I guess there's also a rooftop club. I've never been to that one, but there's one
I've heard
the
of it.
Lord. I've heard of it, but never been. But they had a club that was on like the fountain level. You know where the fountains are?
Yes.
So on Saturday, I did check it out briefly. Like they checked IDs, so you had to be like over 21 to enter it. But when I went, I don't know if maybe it's because I went too early or something. Maybe I don't know. But it was like very quiet. There was like nothing going on, and there was something wrong when like the DJ. I guess the music wasn't working. So I was there very briefly, and I left because like there's like nothing going on. But I don't know. Maybe I was just there too early. Because no, especially like in most cases, people party later, which I wish wasn't the case because I feel like I would rather do it earlier and not later because I'll be too tired.
Same.
Yeah. Like, can we just party at 8 p.m. instead?
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
fair
I
enough.
think I know, if only. But yeah, I think it's a great con if you want to go. Like, obviously, it's really big for cosplayers. A ton of cosplayers go. And I know that it's really great for anime fans because they also have a lot of anime-related programming and guests. And so definitely recommend. Unless you don't do well with crowds, then probably not.
All right. Thank you for being in another edition of Zero Hour, Lee May. Our next con for Scroll Rhapsody, who knows at this point? Really, who
After
knows?
the pandemic.
Huh?
After the pandemic.
However, we will be having a special show that we will be recording. I'm teaming up with Wicked Anime, teaming up with California Conventions blog, and we're going to be talking about how COVID-19 has impacted con culture for 2020 and how are people responding and reacting. So that show's coming up. So remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, ring the bell for notifications, and if you're feeling generous, toss some dollars in our Ko-Fi, because that would just help us, pay for parking once this whole thing blows over. Parking in LA is not cheap. All right, thank you again, Lee May, for being on this show, and we will see you at the con when they come back up.